Hi, I'm here to celebrate and announce I'm celebrating the release of my Kindle book. The paperback is on its way because I'm awaiting the proof. I could have pressed like go, but it's my first book, so I'm like, I'm just gonna order a proof first. But the Kindle is out. I'm celebrating this, and I also have some pretty big announcements. Some I've already made, and this one I really want to share as well. So the Ancient Blooded Healer book is out. If you hadn't known, if you hadn't heard me talk about it, if you hadn't seen me post about it, if you hadn't just shut up about your book, Hannah, I'm like, no, I'm not going to shut up right now. I'm like, we're just getting started. So I'm celebrating this really, really hugely right now because it's a big deal. It's a big deal. For those of you who have known me and followed me for a long time, I've been talking about this for a long time. So it's a really big deal. So I'm just going to share this live stream and then I shall be super present with you. So exciting. So exciting. Tell me if you've got my book. Comment below or tell me if you're waiting for the paperback. I want to know where you're at. Where are you at? What's going on? Tell me. Tell me if you've read it yet. It's really exciting for me to finally have my book out. I want to say after 7 years of talking about it, but I've actually been talking about it for a long time. So I'm just going to share this in one more place. I think I might have shared somewhere too. So, like when I had my spiritual awakening in 2005, I always knew that I was going to write books. Like that's all I kept hearing. And when I sat down to write this book at the start of the year, Ancient Blooded Healer, You're One of a Kind. When I started writing this, I knew, like writing it now, there is no way that I could have sat down and written this any moment before now, and I say that and I'm like, well, I could have sat down and I could have forced it, and like we can do anything, right? But the way that I write it, just the style of writing, like that's come with practice and turning up on live stream and speaking and holding workshops and courses and writing blogs every day for like 7 years online. Like that really improved my writing practice. So Ancient Blooded Healer is live out on Kindle. It is perfect timing. Yeah, it's perfect timing. And I think like there's some people say, like, oh, well, you're talking about it all the time, you're not going to manifest it, or you're dispersing the energy. And whilst that's true to an extent, I do believe there's a time for going quiet about what you're working on, and then there's a time for talking about it to amplify the energy, and I think that comes with discernment of knowing when to speak about what and why, and and again, that's practice as well with your purpose, with what you're here to share with the world, like all of those pieces. Yeah. So my book is out on Kindle. I have a lot of things that I want to say and talk about, but I am getting one of the proof copies in the mail today. So I'm really, really excited about that. So I might share a little bit on my story about it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get a hard copy. I'm like, then it'll be real. No, it's kind of what it feels like a little bit. So my Kindle book is out. You also would have seen the announcement that I made about the full moon ceremony. And a lot of people have been really sad about the full moon ceremony. And then I'm questioning it. I'm like, oh my God, am I really stopping the full moon ceremonies after 7 years of holding full moon ceremonies? That's a lot of full moon ceremonies. That definitely has got my skills up as well. If there's anything you want to learn in, like, people say, oh, I want to be psychic. And they do a little bit of meditation and stuff like that. Like the way to really amplify your skills is to start doing the thing. Like I've known for 17, 20 years that I was going to write books, but it's taken me until now to write it. But as I was just saying, like everything I've done leading up to it has prepared me for this purpose, has prepared me for writing. Like I wouldn't be able to write with the skills of writing and speaking had I not turned up for 7 years online, blogging and live streaming every day. Like it just wouldn't have happened, right? It is so exciting, Karen. It is so exciting. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about it. So I'm here celebrating. It'll be a whole week, probably month of celebrating my book release. So I'm really excited about this. Here we go. And in true birthing style, like I literally uploaded it last Friday night and literally like went to bed for whatever reason, checked my email in bed. Don't usually do that. And then like within like half an hour, they're like, it's live on Kindle. And I'm like, what? I'm like, now? I'm like, it's live now. So like get out of bed and I like get online and I'm like, what? It's like 11 o'clock at night or something. I was like, oh my God, it's live. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit with that. I'm just gonna sleep on that. And I announced it the next day. I'm like, it's out. But it was kind of interesting because then like in true fucking birthing style, I started bleeding that afternoon and I was just like, oh my God, like how significant. And you know, and I really work with the cycles, but my cycle came early and I was like, oh, of course, like I just birthed this, you know. I talk about the entrepreneurial birthing like all the time and I was just like, wow, you know. So the past few days I've just been like resting, like really honoring my cycle, like just like really adjusting to the fact that I've just released it. And it's so funny, I was just sharing in Master Manifesto with the tribe that like when I released the book and then people are like sending photos and they're starting to read it and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, fuck, people are reading my book. I'm like, shit. And I was like, and then it'd like catch me off guard. Like I think I'm like, fuck, people are reading my book. I'm like, oh my God. And it's like been an adjustment because for the past 7 years online, I have been speaking on live stream, sharing courses, doing online courses, meditations, full moon ceremonies, blogging, live streaming. And now I'm officially an author. And now writing books. And so I'm sharing my message in such a different way. And this has really been like busting out of me for 17 years, ever since my spiritual awakening. But also, like, especially for the last few years online, like I'd write this big long blog and people would be like, oh, it's so long. Or they'd comment and like give me advice. And I'm like, did you read the whole blog? Because I spoke about that later in the like blog. And they're like, oh, I was busy, I didn't read it. And I'm like, well, why the fuck did you even comment on it? And I'd get really like agitated. But that agitation was just me, like my soul going like, just write your book. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm so excited because my message has been, I feel, this is not true, but been getting lost on social media. And ultimately it is true in a way, because when you share something on social media, it's great for a second and then it just gets lost in the others of AI or something. I don't know. But a book is like my whole message. It's like the whole picture, if you may. And I can really get my point across. You know, I feel like one of my gifts is articulating the emotional reality for people who have buried it, layers of trauma, scar tissue, past lives interconjoined, timeline convergences, like I see it so clearly in people. I see it like it's like, I don't know, a cake recipe. I don't know, whatever. I see it like the colors of the rainbow. Like, I see it so clearly and I'm like, why don't people see it like this? I'm like, what do you mean? But this is really the gift of an ancient blooded healer. So I'm so excited to have brought that to you. So I stopped the full moon ceremonies. Well, I've got 2 more full moon ceremonies to go. I am questioning it. So many people are like, I'm so sad that you're stopping it. And really, like, I wouldn't be stopping it if I wasn't being guided, sorry, cat hair, if I wasn't being guided to work on this other project for the next 18 months. And that is really bringing me alive. And it's always about following what's alive. It's not that the full moon ceremonies don't bring me alive. It's just that for this time, it's knuckle down time. And I know that I will like do the ceremonies when they intuitively call me. It's just that every single month. So even when I'm saying it, I'm like, are you? Anyway. So that's the ceremonies. And this, we just held the full moon ceremony on Monday, 2 days ago. And at the end of that full moon ceremony, because we always have a debrief, like we do the ceremony and then we always have a debrief and talk and pull cards and, you know, have a little chat with each other. And I love it. And I ended up sharing about like this painting, because this painting I did in 2014, like November 2014. And it's kind of like, it's where I live now. The water, the lake, the gum trees, there's gum trees out there. I don't know if you can see them. I can't really see them out the window. You would have seen them on my stories, my pictures I always put on. And I literally painted this in 2014. And there's quite a deep emotional story alongside of this. If you've done any of my meditations or any of my courses or anything, like, you always hear me say, okay, now to come out, take a moment to write or draw any messages down, because it literally strengthens your clairvoyance when you take pen to paper and color in. And all my paintings that I've done have always come from a download, a reflection of a meditation that I've done, or a process that I've done, a healing process that I teach in Trusted Intuition. I've always, that's where that came from. And I sort of had forgotten about it, and that painting's been up on my doorway. And for the full moon ceremony, I ended up talking about how the full moon ceremony started, why I've been doing them for 7 years, it was just really interesting. It was really, really interesting. Anyway, so if you jump into any of the full moon ceremonies, you'll be able to catch that in depth, quite emotional story. And it's really significant that this is all coming up now. The other huge announcement that I'm really, really excited to share is I could feel this, this course coming through. We're about to start Heart Chakra Consciousness soon. Keep an eye out for that. I'm going to drop all the details of that soon. I'm also dropping the Purpose Activator. And I'm fucking so excited about Purpose Activator. This has been like trickling in. And then today it dropped in and I was like, finally, because I've been getting messages about it. And I was like, no, it's Heart Chakra Consciousness. And I'm like, nah, it's not. And it's same and it's not. Purpose Activator is a fucking celebration of my book being released. And it's not just like, okay, I've launched my book. Like, this is what you're going to do to write a book. It's nothing about that. Purpose Activator is really allowing you to activate your true soul purpose. Your true soul purpose. There are so many things we can do in this lifetime, but is it your true soul's calling? So Purpose Activator is a 30-day Purpose Activator container. And I'm really excited in a way that this is like a group program, but it's a very different group program to anything I've ever done before. So I'm going to release all the details later this afternoon, this evening, so in a few hours, keep an eye out for it. Purpose Activator is 30 days. And I'm going to be dropping nuggets of gold, different journal processes, meditations, inspirational purpose activations channeled straight from the divine through me for you every single day for 30 days. We're going to work in this over Telegram. So I'm going to create a broadcast channel specifically for Purpose Activator. And every day I'm going to drop content in there for you guys. And then twice over the 30 days, we're going to meet up on Zoom, and we're all going to get on Zoom and we're going to connect and we're going to activate the purpose even more. So I'm really, really excited about this. I wanted to announce this now. It's a big celebration in my book being launched, because this has activated such a deep level of purpose for me that this activation I really want to share, so that you guys are activated into your true unique purpose, right? Maybe it is that you're going to write a book. Maybe it's that you're going to start a YouTube channel. I don't know. Like, what is it that you're going to do? Open a childcare center. I don't know. What is it that you're going to do, right? And so whilst this vibe of like such true deep alignment of soul purpose activation, I want to share these intuitive insights that are coming through in Purpose Activator for 30 days together. You'll get all the recordings, you'll get all of the pieces, and then we're going to jump on Zoom twice as well and have like that, beautiful connection. So I'm really fucking excited about this. So keep an eye out for that. I will be dropping it in a few hours later this afternoon or this evening. I don't know, in a few hours. But I wanted to share it. I wanted to celebrate my book. We're going to have a whole month of book celebration. Heart Chakra Consciousness is about to drop. If you want to work privately with me, I'm opening Dedicated. Dedicated is 9 weeks one-on-one personally with me. So if Dedicated calls you and you're like, nah, I need to work with you one-on-one, Hannah. So send me a message. I can send you all the details for Dedicated. There's so many things that I'm excited about. Now my book has been launched. Now I've had my birthing little cocoon about it. I am here to share this purpose activation with you guys. So keep an eye out for it, and I shall see you really soon. Soon to be celebrating my paperback version with you.